The impact of COVID-19 has taken a big toll on the global economy and the healthcare system, of course. The effects of COVID-19 on the health of racial and ethnic minority groups is still emerging, especially in New York. BNC's Ashley Liotus reports.
It's well known that the coronavirus has disproportionately affected communities of color in New York and across the United States. Much of this stems from people in those communities holding essential jobs and having pre-existing health conditions. Right now in New York, the disproportionality spills over into the healthcare workforce as well. But how much does a diversified medical industry matter? Perhaps more so than you might think.
I think diversifying the healthcare workforce is a really important mid to long-term strategy for addressing health equity.
There have even been studies done that prove the connection between patient and physician matter greatly.
There are some studies that show that if you can essentially have patients go to providers who are racially concordant with them, that they are often not only more likely to go to those providers, but more likely to trust those providers and to seek certain preventive services.
If you have cancer and you have to go see an oncologist, you're going to feel more comfortable seeing an oncologist that looks like you and understands your culture and understands your cultural biases.
Increasing diversity in the healthcare workforce is something Joe Wiederhorn and the Associated Medical Schools of New York focus on. That diversity could have a positive effect when the next pandemic strikes.
By having a diverse group of physicians in the workforce, young people get to see role models. They get to see other people who are like, oh, hey, I could do that. You know, if this woman can become a primary care doctor, well, why can't I?
We know that diverse graduates of medical school are more likely than other groups to actually go back to diverse communities to practice. And in a time like this, where the light has really been shown on the need for more access to primary care, I think the efforts that organizations like AMSNY that Joe leads, the need for those organizations is going to be even greater going into the future, so that people from these communities can feel like they have providers who look like them that they can actually go to, providers that they can actually trust, providers who will help them to actually get screened for high blood pressure, for diabetes, to help to prevent obesity. All of these primary care sensitive conditions, I think getting on top of those and really reducing the risk of those conditions and preventing those conditions, I think that is how we can ensure that we do not see a repeat of the disproportionate impacts that we have seen from COVID-19.
So why isn't the workforce more diversified? Dr. Joe Ravenel has seen it firsthand.
I can't tell you how many diverse medical school applicants have told me that throughout their schooling, they were basically discouraged from applying to medical school. They were discouraged from basically following their dream, largely rooted in racism. With the belief of a teacher or some other influential person that essentially them as students of color were not smart enough or not good enough to enter this profession. The more that we can encourage young people and let them know that not only can they do it, but that we expect them to do it, I think that will go a long ways for increasing the number of people who actually apply to medical school to enter the medical profession.
All across the country, there are programs like AMSNY that want to help you with funding or even just the application process to get into medical school. Just head to your local medical school for more information, or if you're here in New York, you can go to amsny.org. Reporting in New York City for the Black News Channel, I'm Ashley Liotus.
For many people in racial and ethnic minority groups, living conditions may contribute a great deal to underlying health conditions and make it a lot more difficult to follow steps to prevent being sickened with COVID-19 or to seek treatment if you do get ill.